Talking about my brother Davie, he's always occupied this ultra-sensitive spot in my heart that's not touched by anyone else. He's my brother, my older brother, and the bond that we shared and the relationship that I had with the man that couldn't talk will forever change me. I am who I am today because of him. I had a unique brother, which created a unique childhood. And what I thought was a normal life was actually more of an outlier. My life was different. It may have even looked strange compared to my friends. See, I had an autistic brother. He never spoke. He struggled to truly ever express how he was feeling. He couldn't tell us if he was sick or in pain, if he had a toothache, if he was too hot, too cold, if he had an itch that he couldn't reach. Can you imagine going through life being misunderstood? And on top of that, not being able to verbally express your frustrations? Davie couldn't even complain. He had it kind of rough, and that's probably why the life expectancy of a severely autistic person is less than half of the national average. And yet I can say with 100% certainty that he had a good life. He had a great life. He was so loved. He was surrounded by people who loved him, by people who would talk to him as if he were normal. And I think that's why Davie and I got along so well. We had such a strong connection, and I would like to think he knew everything I was saying to him. I hope that especially is true because he would laugh at all my jokes. He thought I was the funniest person in the world. Like, I know I'm funny, but Davie, come on, no one's that funny. But he thought I was. I'm not even a big talker, and him and I had that in common. Because if you get Cody and my dad in a room, it's hard to get a word in. So Davie and I were thinkers. And he and I cherished our time together because in those moments I could talk to him one-on-one. I could sing to him, I could tell him stories, we could laugh, cry, be silly. You see, a lot of people know me from a distance, know that I'm pretty introverted. That's why you're getting the video. I'm reserved, I'm the quiet brother. But for some reason, Davie was the only person that I could be 100% authentically myself around. Kristen, you're in second place. But Davie knew absolutely who I was. We would go on walks and hikes. We'd sit down together until he would ask me to leave. We would talk. I would talk. And we would watch movies. We'd take rides in the Jeep with the top down. We'd try to pick up girls at the mall. We would sit in silence. He was my biggest fan. And not only would he laugh at my jokes, he would laugh at my pain like a big brother should. He listened to me, and I loved him. And he loved me. I feel bad, but then you'd see him smirk, and that smirk turns to a smile. So big, his eyes are closed. And then you see him get excited and jump around and flail his arms. He gets so animated. Oh my gosh, have you ever seen Davie run? My goodness, it's hilarious. But the excitement builds, and then you hear him laugh. You could hear him laughing all the time. He had such a good laugh too. So much laughter, so much love. And loving Davie was easy. Davie made it easy, especially for me. But growing up with Davie presented its own hardships that I didn't even notice as a kid. In fact, I didn't even realize the uniqueness of having Davie as an older brother until I was a junior in high school, when my school counselor wrote a letter of recommendation on my behalf for college. She mentioned my calm demeanor that she attributed to my brother. I didn't even know she knew who Davie was, or knew my family, or knew my family dynamics. But the thing that she stated was that my calm, cool, collected demeanor was a result from having an autistic sibling. She said I was a quiet leader. She said amazing things about me, and I had no idea. At that point in my life, I owed a lot of my positive qualities to Davie. At that moment, a light bulb went off in my head about my brother. Standing in the hallways of Wild Lake High School, I obtained a newfound appreciation for Davie like I never had before. Yes, he is my brother. Yes, I love him. But from there on out, he became my reason. It was as if I never even realized he was autistic. Like, I don't know what would have happened if I had a normal older brother, but to me, he was my normal. You see, when people see me in the corner of a room rather than the center of attention, behind the scenes rather than in a leading role, that's Davie. When people describe me as calm and quiet, it's not because I'm lazy or timid, it's because I'm willing to be second. Davie taught me the importance of that. And there are some Jesus metaphors in there about being second. I'm not saying I'm Jesus, Don't get that twisted. I'm not perfect. But there are areas in the Bible Jesus talks about paying special attention to people like Davie. It was not a burden to be second to Davie. It was a privilege. And I feel for my parents, man. Imagine having to wake up early every single day of your child's life to get them ready. The thing is, most parents graduate from that phase, but not mine. Imagine never being able to truly turn off your brain. You don't get a moment to really relax because you are constantly going through your mental checklist with Davie. Yeah, a lot of people have kids. That's what it's like being a parent. Your brain is always on. You are constantly worried. But imagine having that for 32 straight years. Imagine leaving him with someone else who might be trained or might have a degree, but they don't know him like you do. So imagine going away and having that constant worry that your autistic son is being taken care of properly. Imagine never being able to turn it off. Then imagine letting your sons watch Davie. Being a grown man still taking care of your brother. Being a parent, seeing all your friends whose kids go off to college and start their own lives. Imagine watching all your friends become empty nesters and traveling the world, but you're okay with the reality of never being one of them. What a difficult concept to wrap your mind around. But my parents did it, and they did it with a smile, even though it was hard. But we are who we are because of who Davie was. We had to be that for him. Now that he's gone, we're experiencing a major identity crisis. Who are we now that he's not here? So I want to talk to my parents directly. You are who you are today because of who you were for Davie. I can attest to this. You were the perfect parents for him. Mom, Davie could not have had a better mother. Dad, you could not have been a better father or best friend to my older brother. I know and you know, Dad, that the very last thing he did on this earth was laugh. That's who Davie was. Oh my gosh, Dad's showering me again, just like he did yesterday. Yeah. But Mom and Dad, I want you to be able to breathe again. Breathe like you have never been able to before. And I'm not telling you not to be sad. You know, it's easy to drown in the sadness. I want you to go through your mourning process. But while you do, just breathe. Take a step back. And breathe. Rest. I take comfort in the fact that you were intentional about everything in your relationship. When I was growing up, you guys were the perfect parents. Your love for Davie and the constant effort and attention he required never blew out the light that is the love you have for one another. I am glad that Davie had you as parents. And I'm glad to have you as my parents too. See, these next couple weeks and years, they're going to be different. Everything's changing. The other day I drove to the house without even thinking. I assumed Davie would be swinging. It was a nice day outside. And I walked around the corner and he wasn't. And it hit me. I'm going to miss him. I will miss all of him. I'll miss going to a movie and and not being able to enjoy a movie because he keeps taking off my 3D glasses or trying to steal my popcorn. I'm going to miss eating at a restaurant with him when he stands up and raises his hands. I'm done, revealing his big old belly. I miss having to calm my brother down in the middle of a grocery store because he doesn't understand why in the world we're down aisle 12 again. This is the third time. Man, no wonder he'd be stressed eating them Slim Jims. I'm going to miss going on hikes with him where I'd literally have to push him to keep going because he's mad he's out of beef jerky. Beef jerky was his love language. I'm going to miss him. He taught me so many valuable lessons about patience and respect. He taught me the importance of family and friends who are like family. He taught me the significance of silence. He taught me to be authentic. He taught me to be myself. I so badly wanted Davie to be a part of my children's lives so that the silent professor from the school of hard grunts could teach them too. I'm grateful for God's timing because without this global pandemic, Chris and I wouldn't have moved this soon to Maryland. We did. In the last 6 months, I got more Davie time than I did the entire decade before. And so did Kinsley. For a couple months, Kinsley bonded in a way with Davie that I always desired my children to do. I would take Davie and Kinsley on walks and hikes, multiple times a week when we lived together. And together they received the label the Goon Squad. They were yin and yang. One couldn't talk and the other one wouldn't shut up. But they both needed each other because they both needed that outlet getting out the house. I will forever cherish the Goon Squad days. Days after Davie passed, you could still see Kinsley's chair next to his swing, where she would watch movies with him. Davie was on a Muppets kick, and Kinsley was discovering the likes of Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. And those puppets will forever be intertwined with the memory of her uncle. Then a week later, the Mitchners welcomed a new member to the family, baby Emerson Dakota Mitchner, born with an angel kiss birthmark in the shape of a heart, just like her Uncle Davie. I am sad she won't grow up with him, but I'm sure the pictures we share, the stories we tell, and the way we love each other, Davie's legacy will live on in Kinsley and Emerson and my future twin boys. Losing a brother is so very hard. Losing the person you love the most in your life is catastrophic. My heart is broken, but I am who I am today because of Davie, and his legacy lives on in me and my family. I will live the rest of my life where he still occupies that uncharted territory in my heart, solely slated for him. Wishing he were here, but glad he's in a place where he doesn't have to worry about being autistic. He's in a perfect environment now of everlasting life, love, joy, and peace. And for that, I'm able to find the happy thoughts in the midst of this emotional trauma. Davie is gone, but he will live on in me. I love you, big bro. Mom, Dad, Cody, Sydney, Kristen, Kinsley, Emerson, and to everyone who had a part in shaping Davie's life and caring for him, please take comfort in the fact that your assignment is over. Your mission is complete, and it was a huge success. He had an amazing life and will have an everlasting impact on this world because of the people his life changed. Welcome, boy. What's so funny?